Open up with this introduction because of the topic which has confused, unfortunately, even a lot of Muslims now, including those who are religious and are knowledgeable even, who have gotten confused with the concept of this thing called law of attraction and manifestation. Now, brothers and sisters, I find that it's affected more our sisters, women, in this idea of law of attraction and manifestation. In fact, there are some sisters who are now online. They make posts trying to explain it in favor of it. And there are brothers also who think of it as well. It actually crept into the Muslim world, and now I feel, or there are more Muslims who are asking me about it. So I thought maybe it's a good time to talk about it, because it can be the dividing line between Tawheed and Shirk, between monotheism and polytheism, belief and disbelief. So let's have a look at it, insha'Allah ta'ala, and how it relates to this hadith that we had just read. Focus on the part of the hadith which says, if you ask or beg from anyone, then only ask it from who? From Allah. This doesn't mean that you can't go to the doctor and ask them how they can treat yourselves from a disease, or ask your parents for money, or ask your employer to increase your wealth. This is not what is meant here in the hadith. These are causes and effects which Allah created in life, but we're talking about that you should not rely on people and created things at all without Allah. Yani you have to rely on Allah in everything and believe that no one can do anything if Allah doesn't will it. But of course you seek. And obviously, if something is not rational, has no logic to it, no rationale to it, no sharia, no teachings in Islam, the Quran and the Sunnah, then also it's forbidden for us to believe in it and take it. For example, if a person, a very obvious example, you go and ask an idol to provide you with something. Or you look up into the stars and you say, the stars will give me something. These are obviously haram and shirk and irrational, and illogical in every sense, and it goes against the Quran and Sunnah. So we're going to talk more about that, inshallah. And then focus on this hadith as well, that says that if the entire world and everyone were to gather to benefit you with something Allah had not willed for you, it will not benefit you. And if they all came to harm you with something that Allah had not predestined for you and written, it will not happen. The pen is lifted and the ink is dried. Does everybody understand that part clearly? Okay, now let's look in practice. Unfortunately, when it comes to practice, people still get it confused. So what we're going to talk about tonight is, what does Islam say about energy healing, healing through meditation, healing through Reiki? It's a law similar to yoga. Law of attraction, manifestation, astro projection, astrology, yoga, and the likes. All of these have a connection to this idea called the law of attraction and manifestation. There is a beautiful book by a good friend and very well learned expert in atheism and scholar of ideologies, Sheikh Haytham Talat. He wrote a book called Spiritual Atheism. What a very smart title. Spiritual Atheism. It's a new age movement and thought that is based on an ancient idea where a person forgets about God but continues to be spiritual but without God. It's called spiritual atheism. Keep God out of the picture and remain spiritual. And it stems from the ideas of Buddhism, Hinduism, and others. And all of these, they include law of attraction, manifestation, zodiacs, astrology, positive and negative energy. You know, somebody, they say, I feel negative energy in here. My family is toxic. They just give me negative vibes. My work colleagues at work fire this person, that person. Why? Negative energy. Husband and wife, it's toxic, negative energy. Wow, when I'm around this person, he gives out such positive energy. Energy is not a thing, by the way. Did you know that? Energy is nothing. It's not really tangible in science. It's nothing. It's just a capacity that something can do something. So when I move, it's a capacity, it's called energy, but it's not really a thing that you can touch, it's nothing. So when you say energy, there's nothing really there. It's just a capacity. But anyway, we'll talk about that a bit more. I don't want to lose you. What does Islam say about it? Do we believe in it? Do we not? What about certain hadiths and ayat of the Quran that says things like, be optimistic and you will reach it? What about when the Prophet ﷺ told us to be optimistic and not be pessimistic? What about the saying of the Prophet ﷺ, assume well of Allah and you will find it. I am the way you assume of me. Isn't this all part of this idea of if you do something, something will come for you, or you'll attract it? What does Islam say about all these practices? Yoga, astral projection, and energy healing, meditation, and so on. There's a book that was released in 2000, based on a film in 2006 called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, claiming to reveal the great mystery of the universe. Obviously, it's a pseudoscience book. It has nothing to do with science, but it uses scientific language. And it actually dares to go and use quantum physics language. Because that's how it is, right? When I want to bring an idea to you, I've got to convince you. And by the way, this is all commercialized now. The law of attraction is commercialized. There's coaches, there's people who offer you courses to go and do healing classes. And it's all, may I say, in the most, I'll say in the most polite terms, it's just merely buffoonery. You know what buffoonery is? When a buffoon talks like that. It's got nothing to do with science whatsoever. So let's go to the definition. What is law of attraction? Two other names commonly used, as I said, manifestation and lucky girl syndrome. Have you heard of that one? Lucky girl syndrome. Gosh, girl, when you're around, everything happens good. You got a lot of luck. So, lucky girl syndrome, manifestation. It is an ancient belief strongly associated with Hinduism, Buddhism, ancient Egyptian beliefs and others, that in this universe, there are frequencies of energy and vibrations that you give out. And in this universe there are frequencies of energies, and that if your energy matches the right frequency of this universe, you'll contract positive energy or repel negative energy and get what you desire, manifestation. Or you repel what you don't desire. In other words, your thoughts, what you think in here and what you intend and your goals, just by thinking very hard, your thoughts send out vibrations to the universe, and the universe somehow decodes your thoughts and responds to you. That's the idea of law of attraction. And those who believe in it, its believers claim that it is a universal law, like it's some kind of law that is just fact. But in fact, it's metaphysical law, meaning it's not part of science. You can't test it. It dictates that like always attracts like, and negative always attracts negative. In other words, positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative. If you're positive enough, you'll attract positive things around you. If you're a negative type, you attract negative. Positive energy attracts positive energy, negative energy attracts negative energy. Just by thinking a lot. Some of them, they go further than that. They say you've got to think a lot, you've got to intend, you've got to say it, affirmations, and write it. Some people do that. And then they say, it happened, man, it happened. Just by thinking, intending, saying and writing. Nothing else, right? And these same people will tell you, oh, but look, it doesn't mean you don't do. But come on, man, you just said it's about thoughts and positive energy and frequencies and I don't know what. So if you focus on positive thoughts and positive mindset, you will attract positive energy from the universe, repel negative energy and give out positive energy. And that if you focus on negative thoughts and negative mindset, you will attract negative energy, repel positive energy, and give out negative energy. We have to get the definitions right, so I'm repeating it to you in different ways. I don't want to lose you. Basically speaking, let's make it a bit more basic. Basically speaking like this. The universe, this big cosmos with all planets and everything, this hundreds of billion-year-old universe, listens to our thoughts. Now you got it. The universe listens to your thoughts and your desires and your intentions, and then gives us those desires because we focused hard enough on it in our thoughts. If you think it hard enough, it will come. That's the idea of law of attraction. Essentially, it's a belief that the universe possesses awareness. It has a mind of its own. It's aware of these 8 billion earthlings and their thoughts and intentions, each and every one of us here. Our feelings and our thoughts, and then the universe prioritizes our thoughts and intentions to gift us with our deepest yearnings. Does everybody understand that now? All right. In Islam, there is a term for that. It's called wahdat al-wujud. It's an ancient belief that stems from polytheism. It's actually not even polytheism, it's worse than that. It's called pantheism, wahdat al-wujud, unity of existence. Have you ever heard the term, we are all in one and one in all? We are all one and one in all. That the cosmos, the reality and God are all identical, they're all one. The universe is God, in other words. But they just don't call it God. Obviously, this is, in Buddhism, this is a practice, a very deep belief. In Hinduism, it's there, and in other ancient religions. The law of attraction also means that nature doesn't like vacuum. What does that mean? In this universe, there are so many atoms and things, there's no space. So what you've got to do is you've got to take out bad space so that good space can come in. I'll tell you what it means. It's like this, that, for example, you're at home, you clearing your clutter and unwanted things, rearranging in an order and a design clears the vacuum to attract new things. I know a story of a woman who got married and didn't like her husband a few years down the track. Instead of looking at the causes, the reasons, how they're communicating, trying to talk about it, she decided to go to these people who've got this idea about the law of attraction. And they told her that to reorganize her house order, her furniture, to declutter, park her car differently and so on, and you will attract the right husband and get rid of the negative husband. So, like that. The idea is truly spiritual atheism. Get rid of God and the universe becomes the God. Have you ever heard the statements, the universe has been kind to me. I thank the universe. The universe gave me. The cosmos or whatever you call it. These are very big statements. And you'll find that these types of people, they love this idea because it separates you from rules, from commands, from God, from a hereafter. It's comfortable, it's nice. Because there's no real responsibility here. Just you think and get what you want. If you can match the right frequency. What is that frequency? Allahu A'lam.